entire stretch, you'll be having quite a nice view. I think this is one of the main selling point for Grand Dunman, because it's very rare, right, for in the east side that you're able to get this kind of unblocked views, and I think this is definitely one of the premium, which I think they will definitely be priced this as a high premium at the same time. All right, so let us look at from another view how they are being like. All right, just to give you guys a quick overview. All right, of course, look at the upcoming possibilities of how Grand Dunman location is, and perhaps some of you may not have some of this information. I just want to quickly run through this a little bit.
So the big question is this: how busy professionals and homeowners like us make six-figure profits from the property we own safely by doing it with research, data, and numbers. How do we buy in a way without complications and half-guessing, regardless of the market conditions, and still remain profitable? That is the question. Here, I will share with you exactly what we do and how we do it. My name is Edmund, and welcome to Singapore Real Estate Insider.
All right, so let me just share with you a little bit of the Geylang Serai and the Joo Chiat side. They're going to really transform this. So this is also another upgrade that we're seeing. And that's why in D15, I would say from a supply perspective, yes, right now we may see that, hey, there's quite a fair bit of supply. But remember, the projects are only going to be ready in the next 4 to 5 years now, or 3 to 4 years down the road. You know, and with a lot of all these new things coming in, the demand will continue, and D15 has always been a prime jewel in the east side for a lot of buyers and investors. All right. So coming back to Grand Dunman, okay, coming to Grand Dunman, just to give you a quick overview, where quite a big plot of land. Okay, so they are almost the same size as the Continuum as well, and of course from a leasehold property. Okay, so one thing that you also must also take note that the maximum height control is about 64 SHD, and which means that the height level should be about 2.8 meters for ceiling to floor, okay, for per unit. And this development, we are talking about 1,000 units, which in the density of that area, we only have another 2 more condos there. So generally, the density is still very, very comfortable. And but I think one of the key thing why Grand Dunman is also very attractive to a lot of buyers is they have 3 basements. So 1-to-1 parking lot. I think this is a very rare situation that usually we don't see, especially with a project that is 1 to 2 minutes away from MRT. All right, do you agree or not? All right, so usually Singapore have a guideline that, oh, if your property is near MRT, you can have 70 to 80% of car park lots, enough already. Okay, that's the guideline. But for Grand Dunman, they managed to actually put in 1-to-1 car park lot. So I think this is very, very impressive, and that's why I think they do 3 basements. Also, in case you do not know, for Grand Dunman, whenever they whatever they purchase this property, they also have to do up the landscaping at the park connector side. Okay, so they also have to kind of spend a little bit more to make sure that the entire area with the landscaping connecting to the park connector, everything is done in a very nice way. So will that also consider that because of all these extra costs, will the cost be factored into the consumer? That is also another question. So if that, because of that, there's a slight premium to pay, there's also the MRT to pay. So we don't know. Let's see how they structure their prices, especially with the nearby competition of the Continuum, which is freehold, and of course the nearest competition, which is Tembusu Grand, which is also a leasehold property. But of course, they are also not near the MRT. They are not near the MRT. So there's some comparison here that we want to look into it. All right, so the site plan, I think cleverly done, very, very cleverly done. They know that if they look at each other when they are too near to each other, I think everybody will give this property a miss. So they are doing a circular concept where they have a big pool in the center, about 80 meters pool, and the distance between each other is about 51 meters thereabout. So it is a good distance, and the pool itself is about 80 meters in length. So one key thing that I always, I mean, if you look at the past, one of the reasons why I bought Park Clementi's is also their layout is similar. All right, so that means you have a big space in the center. All your blocks are not kind of facing each other. So I think this is a very clever layout for the site, for every single unit, so that you kind of get your unblocked facing, especially if you are looking through the outwards. And of course, inwards ones, usually you are only seeing the pool, which is still fine. All right, so they have cleverly done this approach, and they also set in, basically, this is the drop off. And also there are two clubhouses, one on the right side of it and the other one, which is where the gym is. So they have done quite a fair bit in terms of setting up the right things in the development. So of course, for the property this scale of 1,000 units, you need to have almost everything. Also, that's why they even set in a tennis court. And this tennis court is sunken in one, so that everybody don't like to see the lights, don't like to hear the tennis ball sound. So they actually purposely sunken this tennis court lower. Okay, so you generally have everything from the pool deck, you have the jacuzzi. There's also one area which, when they show it, I'll share with you my first impression, or my first thought when I saw it. Okay, but let us see some of the photos of some of the clubhouses. Okay, so this is the one where the gym is. Okay, and you're facing the entire pool. So while you're exercising, you have a nice 80 meters pool in front of you, so kind of unblocked. So the distance between that to the next block is rather far away still. Okay, and other clubhouse. So this is on the other end, where if you can see, this area is where the shops are. So basically, there are also shops where you can enter from perhaps this side gate. All right, and this is also open to the public. So I will presume that there will be a little bit more like cafe style, bistro. Why? Because you are by the PCN and you are by the river, right? So I think it will be a very nice chill out place in this location for a very busy day, and then you just come down for a drink, kind of concept. And of course, this is also open to public. Well, I mean, if they do F&B, of course, I think more people will be going for lah, right? So this is another clubhouse on the other side, which basically highlights the grandness of Grand Dunman. And if we take a look at the pool area, so you can see this is where the gym is. So you have a very long 80 meters to take a look at, to see. So the next photo that I'm going to share with you is something that I was it's a kind of a shock to me. Okay, well, I show you why. So when I first saw this photo, right, I was like, wow, very nice. They have a tree house, they have playground, they even have the splash play kind of concept in this area. All right, so this is tucked between two blocks in the center, if you can see from this very small area in between the two blocks. So they actually catered quite a fair bit of space for the kids. And if you look at this, I tell you, when I saw this, right, and then they even have a bridge that connects from the clubhouse to the play area, I was like, wow, this is like so nice. This is almost like Gardens by the Bay, mini Gardens by the Bay, that you have everything, right? You still got the water playing area. Then when I was looking at it, then my next question comes up, wow, wouldn't it be very noisy? Because we know that with this kind of activities, the kids will go crazy. So this, when I saw this, the first thought that came into my mind is, I think Grand Dunman, they are also very cleverly to kind of allow buyers, home stayers, to buy this property and to have enough facilities for the kids growing up. So it's not just about buying because it's the MRT, but there's small little thoughtful things that I see that a lot of the developers, they now try to do away from playground, children's playground, right? But why did Grand Dunman, they put in such a massive scale? I think they do see that the effect of the location, the distance to the various schools is definitely one. And with the kids there, then they will be attracting more parents. Also, the parents will leave the kids with their nanny there, and then they can go and do their own stuff, maybe chill out by the cafe, right? So this is something that when I see it, I was like, okay, this is very targeted to the family types. And of course, if let's say you're buying from an investment per se, this could be also another angle that you should look at. All right, so let us look at the breakdown in terms of the units. All right, so generally for 1,000 units, you will have all sorts of configuration. And this is the property, you go from 1 bedroom all the way to 5 bedroom, even the penthouses. But what is different between this development and Continuum as well as Tembusu Grand is the uniqueness about Singhai, okay, that they have dual key properties. So this is kind of classic in all their developments. They always build dual key. Of course, is dual key something that will be very comfortable to exit in the future? That one, everybody have their mixed opinion. I will not touch too much on that. So you can see, right? We recently just gotten this latest information, right? And then you can see the entire. Okay, so let's look at this is the view towards Gonghua. Okay, this is the view towards Gonghua. Okay, so you can see this big plot of land, which is what I mean. This is the GLS land. Of course, stated to be released for sale, which we do not know. So imagine if, let's say today you are. So this is Dunman Road. Okay, this is towards Kallang. So if you are facing this side, just take note that in future there will be also another 18th floor project in front of you lah. Okay, not that you cannot buy because the distance are still quite a fair bit, and relatively I find developers may price this very attractively. Or of course, it's a big question mark in the front plot. When are they going to launch or not? We also would not know. So enjoy it while it lasts. That's all I can say. Right, so coming in from Dunman Road, you have a drive-through into it. So do not need to worry because if you're coming from this direction, you have to drive in, right? But even if you are in the opposite direction, don't worry, there's always a U-turn here that you can go in. So for Grand Dunman to exit to PIE, ECP, actually all very convenient. Right, so if you can see from here, so this is a tennis court sunken in. So let's take a look at the right side, the left side of it, which is the clubhouse side, which is the PCN. All right, so can you imagine if let's say you are in this block? Okay, so this is the unique block that is the most premium one. You can see how your view is. If let's say you're on high side, also you can maybe even see Sports Hub with fireworks, Marina Bay Sands. Yeah, so that's why this tower is the most premium one, and you will have the greenery of the water view. Okay, relatively unblocked, but you have to go quite high lah. Okay, because you have the rest of the properties nearby. But also do take note, this is the west facing. Okay, so some things good, some things of course we have to compromise a little bit more. Okay, of course this block you are the nearest to the MRT. Okay, this is the nearest to the MRT, and I think developers are also very smart to position how they want to sell their properties are all. So some of all this we have done enough, so we are able to half guess what's their thought process, which is why we are able to help our clients always to select the right property at the right price to enter. So in the next 3, 4, 5 years down the road, when they want to exit, it's actually very, very easy for them. Okay, let us look at the where I consider as the most premium view, which is this side. All right, so generally, what kind of types of units? Of course, I think they will comprises definitely 1, 2, 3 bedroom types here. All right, because this is the view you're gonna get. Wow, you see. I mean, of course, from here you can see wow, very far lah. Okay, can see the sea view. You go 18th floor, 17th floor, I'm sure you're able to see, but whether it's a little bit of the sea view or not, that one really, we need a drone to go up and then take a look. But right now, even from this height, you can see that your view is spectacular. Okay, totally unblocked. All the landed property in front of you are 3.5 story maximum. And because of the line of sight, you have an entire spectrum of area. I think so. This is definitely one of the most selling point, and anything that we know is a selling point, I don't think it will come cheap in terms of the premium. They definitely will look more premium in this facing. Okay, so of course this other facing is just as good for this other block, because you are also getting almost parallel in terms of the view. So really depends on your objective when you're buying this property. You know, are we looking at that we want to stay here for good, this is going to be my last property and I want to enjoy the breeze, the view, then you have to, I mean, no, I don't mind paying premium for it, to be honest. Okay, and those who have been to Dakota, you know, Waterbank, you will know how breezy it is if you're on the high floor. Actually, even if you're not on the high floor, because of the unblocked circulation of wind, right, you will practically get free aircon. Free aircon every day. Okay, so this is because we have been doing D15 for quite a while, so I'm very familiar with how even the wind works for different zone in the east side. All right, so yeah, so from here, generally your views are fantastic. Okay, your views are fantastic. Yeah, see here we can see continue. Great. All right, so this is the typical type of 2-bed plus study, and you can see that their views are the premium one. Okay, so they know a lot of people may want to buy this property, so they also will want to price it and put it at the best place where people can enjoy. Also, of course, how much premium, we will have to think through what's the arrangement going to be like. Okay, so Then let's look at the next type of size, which is of course a 3-bed. So what Grand Dunman has done, 119 square feet, okay? Basically, they have laid out this configuration plus a study. Okay, so you have your typical foyer that comes in your kitchen. And one particular thing I like is that they actually catered a proper yard area. A proper yard.